How's it going out there? Good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world, in your time zone. Thanks for joining me. Already got 17 people on the stream already. Thank you guys so much. And welcome to my safe haven, everybody. If this is your first time checking me out on a live, let me introduce myself. My name is Michael. I call myself the Black Gay Comic Geek and I always say the things I love to talk about on my channel. It has blood, sex, gore, and magic, or any variation of the four. So I like to talk superheroes, comic books, action movies, horror movies, fantasy. Basically, I like to talk about nerd shit from a Black queer perspective. I always say representation matters and representation equals normalization. So if that's something that you're interested in, do me a favor. If you're not already, hit that subscribe button, become one of my safe Gaveneers, like pioneers, which is what I call my followers. Help me grow this channel. I'm at like 8,200, I think right now. Let me get to 8,500. Let me get to, I keep saying, I want to get to the point where I can say like Dragon Ball Z, it's over 9,000. So I'm ready. I can only do that with you guys' help. And I can only do that if you either subscribe or if you're already subscribed, hit the like button. It'll help with the YouTube algorithm, getting this live out there so other people can come across the channel, getting the channel out there and everything like that. Guys, this is a sad Gambit-centric episode. So I got the little Gambit shirt. Shout out to Rage Gear Studios who gave me this shirt. But with that said, we're gonna get into the episode. So spoilers, this is episode 5. We're talking full spoilers. It's called Remember It, and I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life with this episode. But as you guys know, for the most part, I do not like to do these lives alone. So joining me on the stream, getting some Black girl magic. We've had her on the stream before. She's a Mandalorian. In case you guys don't know, she has her own Mandalorian Star Wars podcast. The last time I had her on, I believe, was for the Marvels. And so we're going to bring on Kira from Room Full of Blurs.
Hi, how's everybody doing out there? I promise you, this is all fake joy because this episode had me distraught.
the whole internet was distraught apparently at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I watched it at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was just like,
oh no, I need my
I gotta go to work, like like I gotta go to sleep. Like
I woke up at 3 and I was like, it'll be fine. I'll wake up in a little bit, just before I go to work. It was so nice the last week when I took off and enjoyed that moment in time of the X-Men.
What makes it even more dramatic is I'm doing a Scandal rewatch. So going from the drama of Scandal to this episode, I was just like, it's too much. It's too much.
I need a palate cleanser or something. I gotta. There's nowhere to turn. The anime is hard and rough now. Yeah, everything. I need to watch
Barney, like Barney is a dinosaur, like or something like. But
Sonic the Hedgehog. I think he's safe.
But before we fully get into the episode, Kira, introduce the folks to the people if this just in case it's the first time seeing you.
Sure. Hey everybody, my name is Kira. I also go by the name Lady Mandalore when I am on. Technically 2 other podcasts. You can regularly see me on Blurred's Eye View, and you can also see me on my podcast on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Twitch, Room Full of Blurreds. Yeah, the whole name right there. Black girl nerd. I very much not with the shits. Although I'm nice, but like strychnine is sweet. I can be poisonous too at the same time, but I love all people everywhere. So, enjoy me. And I talk like this all the time. Sometimes I don't know when to stop and I need help. Please, Michael.
You can go all you want. Yo, shout out to Erica Hardison in the chat. Fabulous magazine journalist over. I'm actually going to be on a panel with her for Schomburg.
Oh yeah.
And I believe my panel with her is on the Saturday, the 26th. So if you're in the New York area, come support and come visit us in Schomburg. That's you too. I'm talking to you.
I got my ticket. I'm ready.
Yeah, come visit us in Schomburg. It's a black owned library with it's like a black owned Comic-Con with black owned creatives and everything like that. So yeah. I think it's just the 2 days, or is it all 3? Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
I want to say it's Friday and Saturday and a short day Sunday.
But either way, go to the website, Schomburg. Yeah. Come check out the panel. My panel is both Friday and Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
So check us out. But
I'll be walking around buying stuff.
oh, Joe, I just realized I forgot to hit the go live button on Instagram. Oops. We've been talking this whole time. But anyway, so with that said, guys, we are here to talk about X-Men 97, episode 5. So with that said, so a combination between all the platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and what else am I on? YouTube.
Instagram.
I got a total of 49 people in the stream. So with that, guys, this isn't just a conversation between me and Kira. We are live. Otherwise, we can have the conversation by ourselves on the internet. This is a live stream, so we need you in the chat, leaving comments. Most of the comments that I can see, I think it comes through. I think I can see all of them. Oh, no. Okay. So, yeah, I do see that comments are coming from Twitter. So leave a comment if you got a question, anything like that you want to get out to us, something that you wanted to ask, talk about. I'm going to be monitoring the chat. So, but if you also want to support the channel, support your boy. It's not expected. It's not obligated, but it is appreciated. If you want to leave a nice little super chat here on YouTube, it'll help with the stream, because your boy's trying to go full time here as a content creator. And so I can quit my job. Hopefully nobody at my job is watching. But
yeah, I mean, pay him more.
Yeah. Show me the money, and then also that the super chat will get directly to my eyes. So if there's a question or thing that you really want to get out to me, it'll come straight to me. So with that said, Kira, not just this episode, since it's the first time I had you on for X-Men period, what do you think about X-Men 97 so far? And did you watch the original series like when it was airing, or did you come across the X-Men original series like later on in life?
First of all, I watched it when it originally aired. I am still scarred by the O.J. Simpson trial for basically kicking it off for about a good 6 months. So I never actually got to finish it until now.
Wow. I don't even remember. I don't even remember it kicking it off but yeah.
New York City.
The O.J. Simpson trial the O.J. Simpson trial was everywhere. I remember that.
I did not need to see that at school. I literally remember like, why? I don't know this man. What do I need to see?
Driving mad slow on the freeway. Like, okay, when is the actual news breaking? Like,
God, I have real things to worry about. I need to see if Scott and Jean are going to get back together. Like, I don't understand what you people don't do. I need completion.
Priorities, people. Like,
yes.
O.J. Simpson driving a white Buick or the
Bronco.
Oh
no, I remember that goddamn car.
Yeah, or Mr. Sinister, like which I think the Mr. Sinister part is more important.
Please. So yeah, I rewatched it from the beginning because completionist, and finally got to finish it and was like, okay, good. I don't have to wait 20 years in order to see what's going to happen next. Thank God. And I have been nothing but until today, the amount of joy that I felt in my soul.
No joy today.
Episode, no, there's no joy. It is a dark time. Those first 2 episodes, especially coming off of the rewatch, those were the best 2 episodes of the series, the old and current, in my opinion.
Yeah, episode two was my favorite until we got to this episode, but we'll get into that. But yeah, continue.
You're a sadist, but it's fine. It's I don't even remember what your other question was, but yeah, no, this.
I'll say how do you feel about your original connection to the X-Men anime series? Then how do you feel about this show overall, like so far?
Overall, perfect. No note. And one note. I really wish they would slow down. I know, I understand there is an entire potential MCU that we've got to factor into this, but I really need y'all to dial it back from 10 to 8, just to kind of extend the character building for some of the new kids that are in here. Well, you probably shouldn't be watching this as a kid, but some of the new kids that are in here watching it, just want them to dial it back a little bit and give that feeling of I don't know what the word is, but some of these arcs that they are blowing through in a half an hour took 4 years to build. That's the only
I agree.
thing that I wish they could slow down on.
So really quick, because I do see we have some people watching on Instagram, and I'm like going back and forth. For whatever reason, it's not showing me the Instagram comments on here. So if you do leave a comment and you actually want me to see it, come join me on YouTube, because yeah, for whatever reason, it's not showing me the Instagram comments. It's just letting me connect to live. But with that said, I completely agree. That is my biggest criticism with regards to this show. Even though I'm really enjoying it so far, the pacing is just way too quick. Like, they're going through so much storylines from the comics and lore in only a half hour, and only 10 episodes this season. So like, even the whole Madeline Pryor, Jean Grey situation, the Inferno storyline, I thought should have been like 3 episodes.
Yes.
Like, if this was the original 90s cartoon, like the Dark Phoenix saga was 5 episodes. Or remember, like, during like the era of Power Rangers, the Green with Evil, that was 5 episodes. We saw Tommy whooping the Rangers' asses because we had time to let that breathe. We had like back in my day when we had to VHS our episodes. Otherwise, we wouldn't see it again. We had to watch it when it was actually live on television. We had like 22 episode, seasons, or sometimes 30 episode season. Now, granted, I'm not saying we need to go back to that, but
well, maybe.
And for some shows, I definitely feel like for some shows it could be like 22, 24 episodes. But I think for this show in particular, if you're gonna do 10 episodes, I feel like they should have went the Castlevania route and had each episode be an hour.
Agreed.
Because I do feel like episode 3 could have been 2 episodes, a 2-part. Actually, I think it could have been 3 episodes.
Yeah. It should. It's. I don't know what the. I'm very confused about the pacing of the show because number one, there's so much that you can put into these shows without it being, I guess, overwhelming. Like, it's not a Game of Thrones type of situation. Yes, a lot happens, but there's so many different pieces that you can interconnect without it being overwhelming. They could easily make this a 26 episode series, especially when it's a half an hour. The second thing is, you're greenlit for three seasons. What's the problem? What is the problem? I need. It's okay to take your time. like a loving lover. Just take your time with it. We have all day.
Agree. So yeah, so that's my biggest criticism for the show. I feel like, because even with this episode, as much as I really, like I said, this episode is my favorite episode of the season so far. As much as I really enjoyed this episode, in some ways, when it ended, part of me, like, I was broken. I was devastated. I was just like, damn, that was dark. But also at the same time, a part of me was also like, that's it?
Yes.
Because we just got to see Genosha. Well, let me take that back. Let me tell you, we just got to see this version of Genosha, because we got to see Genosha in the original, but when they were mutant slaves. But like, we never really got to see Magneto ruling Genosha like he did in the comics and things like that, or like, Cyclops going to Genosha. Like the fact that there were 16 million mutants living on Genosha. This is like the first episode, and it was instantly taken away from us. And so, even though I felt it, I was devastated. I was just like, dang, like, I wish we got to live in it a little bit more. But
for a day.
I'll give a flip side on that a little bit later. But that's my biggest criticism of the show. But now, getting into the show in and of itself, we see that the episode opens where Cyclops and the rest of the mutants at the mansion are doing an interview with I think her name was Trish Tilly, something like, I don't know. Her name's not important. She's human. She's human. We don't fuck with humans over here on the BlackGayComicGeek channel. Like, what you see, like, for those that maybe joined the stream on the shirt, Savage Gambit, we all about mutant supremacy here. There we go. Thank you, Will. Trish Tilby.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Look, everybody. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. But yeah, so giving an interview to basically talk to the mutants is like showing them that you guys are the good ones. The X-Men, you're the good mutants. You're like, we're showing that, trying to give reason for humans to like support you and to see your humanity and all this other stuff. Yeah, full human erasure. We all about mutant supremacy here in
You know you're a human though, right? I'm just
No,
saying. I mean, I know.
I'm definitely not human. I don't know why you. I would delete. I will block you from the stream. I don't know you call me out like that. Like I have the X gene, but
not you being an apologist. Good lord.
I'm a mutant. My mutant power is being gay. I can spread the rainbow.
I want to say something, not about you, more about me, but that's a little bit too much intimacy. You got to pay me for that information. Anyway.
Guys, you heard what she said. Leave a super chat because now I want to know what this information is. But yes, mutant power. But so yeah, giving an interview, basically trying to show that they're the good mutants. They're not like the other mutants, the other corrupt mutants. And one thing that I really liked is again going to like them putting respect on Cyclops' name and showing that Cyclops is right. Like I liked he eventually started. He tried to acquiesce and play play for the team and contribute to the interview. But then eventually he was just like,
"Listen, bitch.
Yeah, there's some bullshit. Fuck this interview. Like, why am I even doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you know
my mutant name is Skittles. Taste the rainbow, bitch. That's my catchphrase. But anyway, Kira, what do you think on the whole interview?
Patty, but that's okay. I think that exchange kind of made me feel like when you are trying to explain being black to your white coworkers, it's like what are we doing? What is this really for? I'm not here to entertain you. I'm so sorry that you don't get it. You never will get it. I am of another plane of existence, baby, and you will never attain it. So please take your camera crew and get the fuck out.
And then also, like, I'm pretty sure there are mutant scholars around the world that have written books and topics. And I mean, we got Hank McCoy right here. Like,
you haven't interviewed anybody else? There's nobody else you could have found to interview at all.
So it's definitely giving me y'all need to impress me energy. Like, what do you as mutants have to bring to the table? It's like, but the X-Men have saved your lives countless of times. And that's what Cyclops kind of brought up. Like, thank God we're not like you because you all would be dead. Like, think about all the times we had to protect you. Because in this world, even though we know that the rest of the Marvel universe does exist, we don't really see a whole lot of cameos from like Spider-Man, the Avengers, or yada, yada, yada. So for the most part, it's very insular where it's like, we know they exist because we saw like the Daily Bugle. We had the crossover with Spider-Man in the original 90s cartoon. But for the most part, it's just the X-Men.
Yeah.
It's not, it exists, but it doesn't exist.
I think they had that little Easter egg in the first episode of Spider-Man on the Bugle too. So he's still there somewhere.
But I love that Cyclops went off, and that's like showing like because a lot of times because of the original 90s animated series, a lot of people have this notion in their mind that Cyclops is a cop, that Cyclops is the ops, that Cyclops will wear a Blue Lives Matter shirt on, and I know you wearing that, you got that face because you probably one of the
Listen, look, I only
be wearing the Blue Lives Matter shirt, but it's like no, comic book Cyclops is not about that noise, and you're fine, and we're finally getting to see that in this animated show. Like, but hold on, really quick. Mo's Tube 1, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. We know you're an XXX Turnal. maybe not XXX. Maybe like a little, maybe 1X.
Okay, but all right.
What were you about to say?
I was gonna say I'm looking at Mo's like you not. I don't think you too far off. Maybe 1X is too much, but anyway, we'll talk about that later. That's a $10 super chat. Cyclops is. When I was growing up, I was reading the comics. I wasn't into all of the X-Men because I was broke. So I couldn't get all the comics. But so all I had to go off of was the animated show. So yeah, animated Cyclops, that motherfucker was the ops, man. There wasn't no way you couldn't tell me. He was constantly running off to tell on somebody, oh, you're not supposed to be doing this. What are you doing? Gene, Scott, like it was too much. It was too much. I did not like him. And of course, Wolverine was about that business, and I too am about that business. So I clearly, well, of the men on that team, I would gravitate more towards Wolverine getting shit done.
But did he get shit? But did he get stuff? Did he get shit done though? Because think about it, like the original '90s cartoon, Wolverine was always getting beat up. He was always injured, and then also like at the end of the day, it was Cyclops that kept the team alive. Like even think about the whole situation with Morph. Like if they didn't leave, which Wolverine was upset about him with that, but if they didn't leave, they all would have been dead. Like Cyclops was all about doing what he needed to do to keep the team alive. He's not the Boy Scout in that aspect, but because Wolverine was the more, I'm shirking against authority, I don't want to listen to you. I feel like that's why more people gravitated to him. But like he was the leader, the quintessential leader.
I feel like Wolverine actually motivated the team. He basically would say, "All right,
like,
y'all gonna go and do it."
TJJ 72 said, did he get stuff done or just cause more drama?
When you leave, I'm sorry, the episode where they have Sabretooth in the X-Men school laid the fuck out. This is your enemy. There is no question about this. But you gonna keep this motherfucker here in the goddamn house where all the kids are supposed to be learning and playing and living their best lives? No, take him the fuck out. And what happened? What happened?
So you blame that on that's on Xavier though, not Cyclops.
Cyclops was right.
But he can't go at the end of the day. He can't go against Xavier. At the end of the day, it's Xavier's house. That's Xavier's mansion. And then also, they don't know Sabretooth like Wolverine. And then also, Cyclops kind of made, or who was it that made the good point? I think it was Xavier. He was like, Sabretooth is acting just like how you acted when you first met us. So how do we know like it's not the same thing? Granted.
Okay, Wolverine was not trying to break down the goddamn school. He wasn't trying to murder everybody in the house. He was just
but that's not how Sabretooth rolled up at first. He tricked them. He was pretending to be good, and then it turned out that Sabretooth was trash. Obviously, we know about Sabretooth, but they're all about mutants for like giving mutants a chance.
I still call BS.
It backfired, but that's not on Cyclops. That's on Xavier.
Cyclops is still the fucking rat, but that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. He tell on everybody.
But as far as this, he's giving white savior. I think out of a lot of the white characters, Cyclops is the one that doesn't, because he doesn't mind standing back to let somebody else take charge. Like for example, when Storm became leader of the X-Men. Granted, they fought for it, but he had no problems letting her take ownership.
Or the animation, because that's two different stories.
Well, I'm talking about the comics.
Okay, so all right, let's make that distinction, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about the comics, or even like he had no problem pulling up when like the champions were in trouble and being what's the word I'm trying to look for, when they were trying to go after like Kamala Khan, Miles Morales, and everything like that. He pulled up. And because he was a member of the team before, like it's not white savior. He definitely will use his power and has no problem stepping back and acknowledging where he kind of fucks up and uses his privilege to take care of what needs to be taken care of. White saviorism, they do it because they feel like they can, and they don't acknowledge that they have any privilege or whatever, like, or they think they're the only ones that can do it without anybody else.
But baby, in the comics, when Storm got through whipping his ass and taking the X-Men from him, where did he go? He went off in the corner, left his wife and his kid to go lick his fucking wounds because now he didn't have anything. What was that all about? And how many years did it take for him to come back after he was done being an asshole?
He was depressed.
Stop. Like Gene said in this episode, this is musical chairs and you just looking for the next seat.
But ain't she doing the same thing? Like,
no, she was in coma.
She literally kissed Wolverine in this episode. Like, they both. And so I was just like, how you gonna get mad for him having this affair with Madeline? Granted, this is a woman that he thought was his wife, and he has a kid with this woman,
ma'am.
So of course he's gonna be in love with her,
ma'am.
Then you're going to kissing Wolverine, who literally you have no real connection to this man. And so like it's different, like with him being in love and having an affair with Madeline, because he's having an affair with you, basically.
I have points I'd like to make.
Go ahead.
Okay, point number one. When she came back, where was Scott? Scott left her ass in the goddamn bed. Yes, to go handle his child, which he ended up abandoning anyway. But yeah, he left her. Who was there? Wolverine. What had happened? She had touched him and got a full frontal view of how that boy felt about her. Okay, cool, bye. Madeline leaves. Cut to today. A month later, we find out them two been kicking it brain style. And what's she been doing? Not she, the real Jean. She's sitting off in the cut, waiting for homeboy to come to bed. And today, a month later, she kisses this dude because that's the only actual physical intimacy that she's gotten from the only person she's been able to physically touch and get something back in return. So no, I'm sorry. I don't feel bad for Scott.
They began bonds before that.
That's what.
But it's definitely a reminiscent, and it's definitely a reminiscent to what happened in the comics, where Jean caught Cyclops and Emma having a telepathic affair. But now instead of that, it's now Madeline, which I'm actually glad, because I thought like after the whole real Jean came back, they were gonna get rid of Madeline prior. We weren't really gonna not get rid of her, but we weren't really gonna see her anytime soon. They were gonna push her away. But I'm actually glad we're still dealing with Madeline and giving her some, you know, a little bit more respect that they gave her in the comics, because I feel a little bit bad for her. And I'm actually glad that they fixed kind of Madeline's storyline in the show versus what they originally did in the comics, where, you know, she didn't know that, like, she didn't have any memories of being a clone. She didn't know she was. Cyclops basically left her by herself, having a baby by herself, when he found out that the real Jean came. Like that, I'm glad they fixed that. That was trash. So I'm not a full Cyclops. I'm not a full Cyclops defender, but I do. But I'm at least glad that they made that a little less convoluted.
I want them to make it convoluted. I need it to be a little bit more messy than what they've got right
Especially
now.
With as rush as everything is.
That's what I'm saying. It's not, I need buildup. Yes, you keep hitting us with these major points in like almost 40-year storyline. I need y'all to, I know where we're going, but we're going too soon. And I want to go there, but I need y'all to hold off on Krakoa, because I thought we were just packing bags and making plans and looking at flight.
We can't get Krakoa this soon, especially after Genosha. Like we can't.
I will bet you $10. I will see. Well, no, will I see? Are you going to are you going to Dream or BlurCon?
I'm not.
Fuck. I will see you at some point, or I will Venmo you $10. Krakoa is getting mentioned by the end of the season. Based on how fast they're moving, we are going to Krakoa.
Yeah, that'd be way too fast. But yes, Richard, he did leave the mission to go to the baby's delivery. Rogue flew him to the thing, but even Storm was like, he needs to go, and he left the leadership to Storm. But Ronnie was saying, he loves the pace. So yeah, so I mean, there are people that don't mind the fact that things are moving so quickly. I'm just like, I want to live more with these characters, because a lot of the thing that, and I feel like sometimes even comic book writers don't understand this. The thing that we love about X-Men the most is the fact that X-Men is a soap opera. We love the messy interpersonal relationships between these characters. Who is and who isn't sleeping with each other, who's having drama and beef with this one and who's not, like who's this person's long lost clone or whatever. Like that's the drama that we like with X-Men, or just having an issue of them using their powers to play basketball or baseball. Like that's the stuff that we love about X-Men. Of course, we love the whole them fighting Sentinels, the Friends of Humanity, Cassandra Nova dealing with the Brood and all those other storylines. Of course, we like at the end, because at the end of the day, it is a superhero comic, so we do want to have that superhero action. But we love the interpersonal drama between them more. Save the superhero event fights and everything like that for the Avengers.
Number one, passions, days of our lives, all of my children. That is exactly what I got in this one particular episode today. I also think that you brought up the Brood. That's why it's throwing me off, because I think did didn't one of the MCU movies, and I don't know which one it was, there's a character that is involved in the Brood. I can't remember. I think it's Rocket. Is it Rocket and what's that man's name? Star-Lord? They're involved.
I'm Googling it right now. I don't know if the Brood was in the MCU.
No, not yet. But there's a character, and I think there's a storyline that's left like a little bit of a crack in a window in an attic somewhere for the Brood to maybe come into all of this. Oh God, Melrose Place? No, like some things are okay to leave behind. Oh God, it was so campy. I do like Melrose Place, but I liked it in the 90s. I feel like it's going to be a little bit too serious of a show.
I didn't watch Melrose Place, but I just Googled the Brood in the MCU and I didn't see anything come up. I just saw they could pretend. It said the Marvels teased that the Brood may be coming. So I don't think we officially, because I don't remember. Yeah, because I don't remember them I don't remember getting a Brood mentioned.
There's and I think it's tied in with one of the characters that they introduced in the movie, and I don't remember the scene. It's very small. It's not a big deal. You could take anything from it, but there is that potential for that to happen. So if they bring all this together,
for the most part, and this is the thing that the messy drama, especially with the Rogue, Gambit, and Magneto, we'll get into that with this episode. But every single X-Men's relationship status is complicated because for the most part, everybody's hooking up. The only ones that aren't in any type of relationship right now are Beast and Morph. They're the only ones that aren't really like hooking up with anybody. Right. Well, maybe because I totally think Morph and Wolverine are shacking up. So, but there's nothing officially confirmed. But in my mind, especially after that last episode, like where granted it was an illusion, but when Morph saw Wolverine in the shower and he walked in on Wolverine without any type of the consent was already. This was this. That was the way he was moving on Wolverine. This was post consent. The consent was already given. And then when you get to the episode before that, when they were wrestling in the grass, when he turned to the Sabretooth, I was like, nah, they definitely fucking. They're definitely fucking. Whether they're fucking as him as Morph, or he's turning into Jean, or he's doing all of the above.
Listen, look, do what you got to do, baby, in order to get them cheeks clapped. I don't blame you. It's been a while. I mean, between Sinister fucking around with your head and you coming back in here and it's all kind of awkward and Magneto's in here with titty meat out. I need things. I need somebody to be content in the house because it feels like nobody else is getting laid.
And one thing I do love about this show is because especially when you get to the Fox movies or even the Wolverine and the X-Men show, which I did enjoy. The thing about this show that I'm also really enjoying is Wolverine is barely in the show. They're giving everybody else time to shine. Yes, Wolverine is one of the more recognizable and most popular of the X-Men. Yeah. I would say in most people's eyes, he's probably the most popular X-Men character because out of all the characters, he's the one that's consistently having a solo book.
Yeah.
Most of that is also because Marvel is pushing him as opposed to other characters. If they push Storm, for example, as much as they push Wolverine, she would also consistently have a solo book as opposed to once every so often. She always needs to have a solo book, but don't get me started on that. We'll be here forever. We'll be here forever on that. But
I don't understand. She needs we might be getting a black female writer, technically speaking, for the X-Men in general, but that's not enough for me. I need a black female writer to write a Storm solo book and not one of them fat ass books. I need a fucking series. I need to be 50 book series minimum.
I need her to be a Game of Thrones level. Stay on Arakko and her dealing with space-based threats as go back to being the regent. And then I told my idea is Storm as a Game of Thrones space doing political battles. When they were teasing her going against Abigail Brand when she was going against, and then they never went anywhere with that. I was like, ooh, this will be a perfect villain for Storm. In terms of power, Storm is way more powerful than Abigail Brand, but Abigail Brand is like a political genius and everything. Like, so to see Storm going against that, I was excited, and then they never really went anywhere with it. So it's like that's the type of stuff I would like to see Storm deal with, not just the Omega level fights, but like, you know,
I just finished doing the comic book club X-Men Red arc, and that was one of my questions. Where is Abigail Brand, and who knows where she is, because the dude that took her is gone. So who has Abigail? So if Storm doesn't know where she is, I will be I won't understand the world. I won't understand. It makes no sense.
But yes, Dwayne the Geek, we are getting a Storm solo this summer. They haven't announced who's going to write it. Hopefully it is a Black woman writer and a Black artist, because the sad reality is, as much as X-Men is about an oppressed minority and dealing with, you know, any single oppressed minority can relate to the X-Men, whether you're gay, Black, trans, disabled, etc. But for the most part, the X-Men books, and I'm talking about main X-Men books, have only been written by able-bodied straight white men, and then every so often white women. But for the most part, X-Men has never been written, and I'm not talking about X characters, I'm talking about an X-Men book, has never really been written by like a Black man, a Black woman. The first, Eve L. Ewing is going to be the first Black woman, and I think she's going to be the first Black person, period, not just Black woman, Black person, period, to write a major X-Men book in 2024. That's trash.
And like how through the 90s by themselves, we've had an astronaut, we've had a Black president, we've had Lord, I can't even think of all the Black people between 1980 whatever to now. It didn't cross nobody's mind that maybe one of the marginalized groups that you're supposedly having this book written after, what is it, pulling from Martin Luther King, pulling from Malcolm X, allegedly, apparently now, nobody thought we should get the perspective of the people that we're actually talking about. Not once. I love Marvel. I love y'all. I swear to I fucks with y'all. That has made the least amount of sense in my entire years of living on this planet. It makes no sense to me, and it is annoying. I don't want to be offended, but it.
Agreed. Not even just that, but like Black people like hanging out with each other, gay people like hanging out with each other. I want to see an all Black X-Men team. Like, you mean to tell me Storm is not like talking to like Bishop and complaining that like Emma Frost tried to touch her hair one day? Like, come on, like, or, like all the Black mutants that she could be mentored, like, and then also like spotlighting Black mutants, because even when you think about the toys, like the figures, hold on, I got Storm back here. I got my, hold up, wait a minute.
Wait.
I got my X-Men 97 Bishop, and most of the reason I got this because the hair. I like the fact they gave him black hair. I still got to put him up. I still got to put him up on my X-Men show. But for the most part, when it comes to like Black X-Men, all we get is Storm and Bishop. We get multiple incarnations of Storm. We get Bishop all the time, but it's like, showcase the other Black mutants. Like, we finally got to see, and that's one thing that I do like about the Age of Krakoa, in the sense of like, even though I have my criticisms about Krakoa, it did do justice in giving a lot of the Black and brown and Asian characters a little bit more prominence. Like, we got to see Synch come back to life. He's been dead since like the 2000s, and he got to lead the team of X-Men. We got to see more from Darwin. We got to see Manifold get some respect put on his name with the Sword series. We got to see Frenzy. Nobody knew who the fuck Frenzy was before. You know, I don't mean when I say nobody, I mean like literally nobody. But nobody.
No. I mean, I know. I do not know who Frenzy is. I'll be the first person to tell you.
Sword. They even brought it back. Tempo. She was on the like. No, I didn't even know who Tempo was. Like, so we got to see a little bit more Black. You know, Black mutants get more prominence. But then, you know, with these new announcements, like they went right back in the. They disappeared again. So like, yeah, we like where's Synch? Where's Tempo? Where's Gateway? Where's like they're gone.
They're not dead. Yeah, magically, they're not dead. So give us story. They're supposed to have more than three.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
That would have been fire. That would have been cool. But yeah, what were you saying?
I'm mad now. Why you say that? I'm mad. Oh my god. I just lost my train of thought. I completely lost my train of thought just now. Dwayne McDuffie writing for the X-Men.
That would have been so
Static
so good.
Shock's
That would have been so.
yo, that would have been fucking yo. He would never tell that man he couldn't get a toy for Static Shock now. Like, make that make sense for me. Eh, yeah.
But since you lost your train of thought, going back to the episode, I do want to point this out. Can we just give Wolverine his props for being so much more damn mature in this iteration of the animated series? I will say that because he's been pining after Jean for so long. Even when she came back, he's like, "Oh, we got another Jean. Let me try to shoot my shot with this one." And she kissed him, and he kind of pulled back and was just like, you're still trying to figure stuff out, basically. Like, let's work on that, and then if you decide you want to give me the buns afterwards, then we could come back to that. But like, figure out what's going on with you first. And I was just like, okay, Wolverine.
I feel like he's so used to having that wall. I don't think that was just let you figure that out. I think that was you are Scott's. Like, there's no breaking that psychic link unless Jean decides to do it. I don't even think he has the hope in him anymore that he could actually have her.
Now that hope might be reignited, because they have made out a couple times in the comics. Like, Jean does talk about having feelings for both Wolverine and Scott. Obviously, she has more feelings and love and admiration and respect and everything like that with Scott, but she also does have feelings for Wolverine. And so during that whole moment, like, when everybody was hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. When everybody was when that kiss was happening between Wolverine and Jean, while people were thinking about them getting together, I was thinking this. Hold on, let me share my screen. There we go. You see this right here?
I said it. I want the throuple.
Are we getting it?
I want the throuple so bad. I need somebody to show up as this whole. It makes sense. It makes sense in my head. It balances everything out.
Dwayne got beat me to it. I want to see the Krakoa era throw. That's why I'm like, are we getting it? We're getting the teases. Jean is kissing Wolverine. She also has feelings for Cyclops. Cyclops and Wolverine have a complicated relationship. Wolverine has been proven to be bisexual in other universes where he's been in a relationship with Hercules, and it's been teased in the Krakoa era that Cyclops and Wolverine are having sex. So I'm like,
it wasn't teased. I feel like that was a straight up It
was subtext. It wasn't like full on. Like, if you're not looking for it, or if you're not queer, you're not going to think about it or see it. But and what I mentioned before was like, I'm tired of subtext. Give me fucking text. Like, just give it to me. But they're also two of their biggest X-Men characters. They're not going to really like full out and confirm like, oh, they're having sex with each other. But Scott is too straightly boring for a throuple. Not Krakoa Cyclops.
Oh, wait a minute.
Like, there's a moment where they're on the moon and he goes to Wolverine and he's like, yeah, me and Jean are gonna take the kids to this location, this other dimension, and we were wondering if you want to join. And he was like, I know it's not really a thing, but it could be fun. Basically, like, let's get down and dirty. So Wolverine is just like, okay, cool. Jean in a bikini. And Cyclops was like, Scott in a Speedo. And Wolverine said, who could say no to that? So I'm like, boom, they fucking.
The initial hate fucking would be legendary.
And yes, their rooms were connected on the moon house. So
I think
why are they connected if they're not connected?
Watch the kids. Yeah, sure. Oh god, they need to do it. Somebody needs to do it. If they don't do it here, they got to do it in the movie, and it's got to be rated R. And that I would forgive that. I would forgive them for doing it that way, only because this is an animated show on a kids kind of streaming service or
Yeah, of course
kids
it's Disney.
adjacent
That's why I'm
streaming.
like, they're probably if they do it, it's gonna be hinted at or anything like that. But the gay couple in Genosha, I didn't see a gay
Yeah,
couple, but I did see
it,
Bo
it looked
DeMaio.
horrible. Yeah,
Yeah, no, Bo DeMaio did insert himself in that Genosha scene. So there was a
and
guy with blonde hair.
blonde hair.
That was Bo DeMaio. Let me actually see if I can pull up the screenshot. And
But he was,
he
he was
actually
holding on to him in that scene.
But so I guess that's the gay couple, but he actually confirmed it himself that was actually him that they had drawn in the episode. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up.
Wait, Jean
Come
can do
on.
better than Wolverine and Cyclops. Can she though? For now, she little in the head. She need to calm down a little bit.
I mean, yeah, I personally wish they would because I like Scott. I like Scott with Emma, to be perfectly honest. So let Jean move on from Cyclops, but comics always have to go back to the status quo. They always have to go back to what people know and recognize and everything like that. That's why, for the most part, they can't evolve. So even with the Age of Krakoa, as much as people have been loving it and don't want it to end, you gotta go back to the mansion for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, you can't solve the
Spider-Man always has to be broken at Parker Industries or whatever. You can't. There we go. I was able to pull it up. So let me share my screen. Despite knowing people from the Avengers and everything like that, being one of the smartest people in the world, he always has to go back to being broke. But yeah, this is Bo DeMaio and I guess whoever. So I guess this is the gay. Yeah, this is the gay couple. Bo DeMaio is the one right here with the chain on.
I could have sworn they were close. Maybe that's me projecting. I really thought that the guy on the left was holding.
For those of you that don't know, this is Bo DeMaio. He was the showrunner and executive producer for the show X-Men 97. He wrote the first 2 seasons, and then right before the premiere, they axed him for whatever reason, and nobody seems to know why. But today he's been posting on Twitter, because mad people were talking about this episode, and so he finally came out because he hasn't said anything since the firing, and he released a statement today that I'm going to read later on, but about this episode and his motivation for this episode and everything like that. So, but yeah, I thought the scene with Wolverine kissing Jean, I was just like, what are you doing? How dare you?
I was into it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, look at you. All right, take what's yours, baby.
but she's confused right now, so I take it. But I at least like that we're getting to see Jean's power expand and grow. She's moving and parting that whole ocean, and using her powers to project her thoughts. And we're getting to see Jean be an Omega level mutant, something we didn't get to see in the original animated series. She floats a pencil and she's fainting. Scott. And now we're getting to see Jean be a badass.
It would, and what I would also like to point out, she made out with him and still able to hold all that water together. Her emotion, she was still focused on not getting them murked by letting that emotion take over her, which I feel is telling. Maybe it felt good, but it wasn't a Scott connection, if that makes sense.
I mean, but it's also showing her level of power. So really quick, let me just stop by to say hi. Just had to say Bo left no crumbs on the table. Episode was fire. Thanks, Trice, for stopping by. But really quick, with that said, so we have a total of 100 people watching the stream across all platforms. Thank you guys so much for joining this live episode 5 review. So whatever channel or platform that you're watching, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, or Twitter, if you could do me a favor, if you're watching on Twitter, hit the retweet button, hit the like button. It'll help with the algorithm getting this live out there. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. It'll help with getting this video and everything like that out there. If you're watching on Twitter, come to YouTube and hit the like button to help with the algorithm so I can continue to let the channel grow. Whatever platform you're watching,
run it up.
Thank you. Hit that algorithm up. Like, share, comment, interact for the all gay rhythm so I can get this live out there, get the channel out there, and grow the channel and eventually go full time. So, but thank you guys so much for being here. I think this is probably the second biggest live that I've ever done so far with So thank you. Share, yeah, like Blurred's Eye View said, share. And if you're watching on the replay, thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, interact for the all gay rhythm. So
also, this not to be
follow
gross.
Kira. Her
no. Baby, wait, hold on. No. Everybody, word of mouth. Talk about this man like he owes you money. Talk about him to your friends.
No,
Tell him
I'm not here by myself. I'm sharing the love, baby. Like, we gotta. Otherwise, I'd go live by myself, but I'm here with you. So follow Kira.
By all means, please, if you are entertained by my hijinks, I run my mouth, like I said from the beginning. I talk my shit. I don't really give a shit most of the times. I can be entertaining and charming.
Well, yeah. So with that, so then after that, Scott snapped on the reporter, which I love that. I love that whole speech that he gave. And this is the thing that I think of. I feel about Cyclops that I wish, and this is why I say more Black people need to write. I feel like Cyclops mostly grew like. It would make sense if he grew up around nothing but Black people.
Yeah.
And why he rolls the way he rolls. Like if he, especially with his father, being off with the Starjammers and everything like that, not really having a connection with his mother, growing up in an orphanage, it would make so much sense to me if you told me that orphanage that he was in was with mostly Black and brown people. He got to see how Black and brown people live. Granted, they don't really talk about like skin tone racism that much in this world. It's mostly just mutant racism, but skin racism does exist to a certain extent and a certain level. Granted, it's not the real world, but like for him to grow up in that environment, and it would fully explain why he is the way he is, why he rolls the way he rolls, if that's the way, if that was how he grew up. Like that would make complete sense to me.
I would state the case that he has technically grown up in a Black home. That Black home is the school is Xavier's school for mutants. They are the Black
home. But I mean like actual Black.
That's all I can show. That's accurate. If I do that, you'll get more money. But I don't.
I got arms too. But I mean, I had a couple super chats. So like maybe that'll give people incentive to leave more. since I am an XXX Turnal apparently.
That is a true statement, I think. Anyway, it's I think they went as Black with Scott as they could, if that makes sense. I think they would be towing a dangerous line of making him a caricature for Black people. So I think they can't really cross. They can't do Black nerd problem levels of commentary for Scott. He can't be talking about.
But in some ways, they kind of do though. Like when he came and called out Captain America and was just like, "Where were you for the mutants? Where were you for us?" Like every time you're there to fight for everybody else, and when it comes to us, it's crickets.
Yeah,
or like
comic. I'm talking about animated. I'm talking about animated Cyclops.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
comic Cyclops? No, he's on the grill at the cookout. No, he's all right. He good. He wins he gets his big plate. He don't have to worry about anybody bothering him. What station do you want it on? You can only have it for an hour, but what station you want the radio on while you're cooking? That's it.
I mean, Bishop went back to the future, but remember, and my friend Fantastic Frankie made this point. Remember also when you think about Bishop was a slave catcher. He was let me not say that word. I was about to, I'm gonna get demonetized real quick. But Rocket Raccoon, that's what Bishop was. The only reason he's on the side of the X-Men is because the Sentinel. Like go back and watch the 90s. Go back and watch the 90s cartoon because I see saying, yo, go back and watch the 90s cartoon. He was catching mutants.
Yeah.
He was on the side of the slave masters. The only reason he joined the X-Men and joined their side is because the Sentinels basically took away his overseer pass. He was like, all right, you done caught your quota. We're done with you. So now we're gonna treat you like the mutant that you actually are. And then he was like, oh, wait, what? I'm a mutant. Oh, now you're turning against me. Now let me join the other side. But it was like, nah, like where were you before?
Beforehand.
Yeah, where were you before? Where were you beforehand? He's like an ex-gay Republican voting against gay marriage and all the other stuff. Or like Candace, I was just about to say Candace Owens. Now that she got fired from the Daily Wire, now she's all like, let me go on the Breakfast Club and all this other stuff. I'm like, come on now.
Now you want to come on the Shitland circuit, homie? Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Now you want to go on Showtime for the Apollo? Absolutely canceled. Canceled.
I can't with that.
Granted, I love me some Bishop, but at the same time, it's like
you was doing dirty. You did us dirty, homie.
You know what you're doing. You ain't now. You need to give reparations, like
or give reparations. Give reparations.
I got the toy, but this is granted. I got the toy because I like the way he looked, but then also like comic book Bishop is a little different. We're not going to acknowledge the slave. We're not going to acknowledge the slave catcher past.
We're going. What is it? We're doing. It's still complicated. If you are part of the X-Men crew and love all that it is, you've got a complicated relationship with them too. It's fine. It's fine. We're staying with the theme.
Plus, I'm gonna say this is the comic book Bishop, right? We don't really have that same origin. Even though it says X-Men 97 on it, but guess what? he won't stay in the box forever. So eventually this is going away. I need that haircut because I got this Bishop with the little like soul glow hair. I'm like, no, like we not in the 70s no more. Let's get rid of that.
I liked it though.
I hate it. I don't like the DeBarge haircut.
What? Don't tell me you. And now you're telling me that you hate Coming to America. That's fine. That's fine.
I hate the second one.
What? What second? What? That didn't happen.
Yeah. There wasn't a second one. There was only the first one.
Yeah. Oh,
but anyway, so now let's get back into what happened with oh wait a minute. Oh snap! It's BGCG with the famous kid. See, look, you famous.
No, motherfucker, stop! Shut the fuck up.
But yeah, so now we get to the crux of the episode, Genosha. And then also, yeah, like we get that Jerry curl juice in the future. Like he got juice. I mean, granted, we saw it coming to America, juices and berries. That's probably what he was using. But we get to Genosha, and the stream is growing. Now we got 104 people in the stream. Thank you guys so much. But we get to see Genosha. It's giving full Omashu, Bossing Say vibes. They even played and Caribbean vibes. Welcome to Wakanda. Because when they rolled up into Genosha, they were playing the X-Men theme music with steel drums.
Yeah. I was like, oh, Barbados.
Like, okay, black Caribbean influence. All right.
As long as
I'm like, this is why you need to have black people running the X-Men.
Yes.
The steel drums.
I mean, okay, real quick sidetrack. I need them to have a soundtrack for this season. I really need a soundtrack for this season. I need a couple more bars, a couple more track. But I'm loving the music that they've been putting on.
I am too, but also I don't know. I like one. Let me not. I don't say I love it. I like the music. I don't think, especially like the original theme song. I don't think this 97 theme song hits me as hard as the original because it sounds more synthesized. Yeah. This version than it does in the original. Like when the original hits, that guitar, this one sounds like the kids bop version of the theme song. You know how like when you listen,
there's no bass.
Not even just there's no bass, but you know how when you listen to like the karaoke version of a song,
it's a little bit off. The pitch is a little bit too high or low.
This sounds like the karaoke version of the original X-Men theme song.
Okay. All right. Maybe not everything is great. I will agree with you on that. However, this episode, house music, I was feeling it. I felt a certain way with the dance situation. Am I going too far ahead? I have the hiccups. I'm so sorry.
No, we jumping around. We talking about the whole episode, so it's fine if you jump around.
The Ace of Base sound when Rogue and Magneto were dancing, I very much was feeling like that.
Well, no, Blurred's Eye, we definitely we don't skip it because also like that the opening animation, every single episode it kind of changes, and I love that fact. I feel like it teases a lot of stuff because we know that Sinister is the main villain of the season. So we see that when it comes to like the morph sequence. We saw Cable show up in this in the opening sequence. And I'm not talking about just the episode, because obviously you can see the background, like he's on my background, but I'm talking about in the opening sequence. We see him in the opening sequence. The fact that they keep showing Dark Phoenix, I feel like we're gonna see the Phoenix show up at some point.
I think, I don't know if Sinister is the main villain. I think that is
Oh no, they confirmed that Sinister is the main
that's
villain.
bullshit. I want Apocalypse. I want him to come back. He's fun.
Nah, I think they're gonna save Apocalypse for later.
Mike, yes. Yeah, of course.
Me, Mike, or you talking about Mike? Are you talking about Mike Flood in the chat?
Mike Flood, Mr. Flood.
What is that? Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Please tell me you love the drum intro when you see the.
That's all I need to hear. I don't need to hear nothing else. I know exactly where to come in. I know what step. I know to hit my marker. I'm good. I know.
But I like that they're doing so many different things with the music. Like even like whether you had them playing the opening theme song with the steel drum, or then when you get to the end of this episode, they played like the almost acoustic piano ballad. After that, I was like, oh my god.
You keep twisting the fucking knife. Why you make it so sad?
Like, yeah, they keep changing. So we get to see Krakoa, and it starts off like all happy. Like, granted, we had that interview, but for the most part, this episode was just like, oh yeah, things are happening. We're happy. We're celebrating. We're living life. We get to see Nightcrawler show up, and get to reunite with his sister Rogue and brother-in-law, even though they're not technically married yet, but. Well, they're married in the comics, but Gambit, you wanted to show them around and everything like that. We got to see Madeline Pryor show up, and I can't think of that UN lady's name, but I definitely think that I think that's Mystique. That's definitely Mystique. The blonde-haired lady that works for the UN.
I know, but you don't think? I don't know. I don't think so. And the only reason why I don't think so is because the Sentinels the Sentinels didn't try to take her out. She was the only one that they didn't hit on the ground because they were just looking for mutants. The one got vaporized to the side.
They would have been able to scan her. They would have sent her.
Yeah. So I think she's not it. I don't know. Moira could be. She could be Mystique. Why do we have one mutant? Why do we have one human on this team? I don't know. I mean,
well, if you think they're gonna go the Krakoa route, Moira's not human.
Fuck, right, shit.
Yeah.
That bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that bitch. Oh, I hate her. Oh, that bitch.
But who knows? This could be her first life before she realized she was a mutant. I don't know, but no, because her first life she didn't interact with the ex. There's so much. It's too much.
Lore is
too much lore. But we get to see so many Easter eggs and cameos from a whole bunch of different mutants in this thing. We got to see Glob Herman, who's a fan favorite. The guy, the jelly, where you get to see nothing but eyeballs. Yeah, with the eyeballs. We get to see Leech. We get to see Pixie. We get to see Exodus, another Omega level mutant. He was the guy with the white cape, where the girl was
dancing in the city.
The girl was phasing through her. We got to see Multiple Man.
Yeah, I do. That was. I don't know why I like him. I love Multiple Man. I don't know why.
Doing like the conga line.
Yeah, it was cool.
We got to see mutants holding up like Mutant Lives Matter, which is like the Black Lives Matter protest. We got to see the statue of Xavier and Magneto in Krakoa, showing that both ideals are welcome in Krakoa. Like so many mutants and Easter eggs that I can't think of off the top of my head. Oh, we got to see there was a Magneto poster that said freedom that looked like the Obama Hope poster.
And the ever famous Magneto was right.
Magneto, yeah, we got to see that. Magneto was right, which he is.
Yeah, or was. Oh god.
Oh, yeah, well, what? Or maybe I don't know. Is he dead? I don't know. Are they gonna kill Magneto? I don't know. And then I'm so confused because like obviously we know from comic books that every time somebody died, like a year later, they're coming back to life. But also, we've never really seen anything like this happen in an animated series.
No.
So I'm like, is resurrection on the table? Is Gambit gonna come back to life? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Well, I'm jumping ahead.
Okay.
We'll get to that. So we're getting to see all of that. We're getting to see the mutants and teasing to the relationship between Magneto and Rogue, where she was just like, oh my God, it's just like he said. And he's like, what, you mean like the professor? She's like, oh yeah, like him. And first of all, let me point out, why is one apple $10? Like,
listen,
I thought the mutants were supposed to be evolved. Like, capitalism is getting y'all like that. Granted, I'm glad they at least brought it up when he was like, it's a brand new nation. We need to figure out a way to get some type of money. But I'm just like, $10 for an apple? Like, what?
Yes, sir. Who's paying?
We got Whole Foods.
Yes, baby. You got to pay them import-export fees. Who's going to be putting up all these fucking statues? Who's getting the design set up for this party that y'all are having tonight? All these
export fees. This is a world of nothing but mutants. I'm pretty sure you got, like, there are mutants with power. Like, conjure an apple out of thin air, baby. Like, what are you, $10?
You can't. You're not using us for our powers anymore. We're supposed to be here having a good time. What you talking about? You ain't gonna be using me all day long, just sitting on the goddamn corner poofing apples.
You need to help build this. You need to help build this nation. Like, it ain't coming from the ground up. Like,
which actually, technically speaking, depending on your powers, you probably could do that. So there should be a lot more free shit in Genosha.
So I'm actually wondering if we're gonna see Wanda, because in the cartoon, that's back in the '90s cartoon. That's back when they were still related. And she was still a mutant, and this is supposed to be a continuation of that. So, like, where's Wanda and Pietro? We'll see. I don't know, but
I wonder. Okay, I can go off on so many tangents, but yes,
we can go off on so many tangents. I'm trying not to.
I mean, it's a struggle. What came? Okay, so we have them trying to use Magneto as a prop, right? They want him to be the brand new face of.
They want him to be the brand new face of I was about to say Krakoa, but Genosha.
That whole conversation that was going on, and then these two, Jean and Scott, having their whole mindfuckery conversation while they're supposed to be talking about political moves amongst Genoshans in the UN. Ma'am, focus. But I peeped Emma Frost peeping, what is it, Madeline's brain. So she knows.
She definitely knew. Like, when she gave her that smile, I was like, "Dang," because Emma don't got no problem like invading somebody's mind, like with no, whether you want her to or not. She don't care.
I need tea. What are you? You look very interested in something else that is not here. Let me just blink. Oh, he's kind of cute. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can fuck this up for you real quick.
But yeah, something to bring up something that William Ware brought up. Like, it's true. Like, not a single mutant poison ivy style powers to grow fresh produce. Like, yeah, there's Black Tom Cassidy. I don't know if he's going to show up on the show. There's Magan, who has there's mutants with powers.
Oh no, that wasn't Black Tom. You're right.
Yeah, like
Banshee was not going to have that man there.
Nobody's safe from inflation, not even the mutants.
Hey, look, blame your mama. Stop paying for stuff. Start trading. So Rogue and Magneto before Mystique.
So no, remember in this episode, Magneto introduced, or Mystique introduced Rogue to Magneto.
Right. Ew. God, every time I think about it, ew.
Oh yeah, and Nature Girl. But yeah, Mystique introduced Magneto to. But this is also like, they're kind of contradicting the original show as well, because like in the comics, Rogue and Magneto had a thing. Right. But they never had a thing in the original 90s show. And this is supposed to be season 6, basically. This isn't the first time Magneto and Rogue have interacted with each other. And not once did we get any type of lingering conversation or an inkling that they're together.
But they did try to explain it away with this flashback by saying he acted like it never happened and I acted like it never happened. So that was their very, very dry.
But it's like bullshit. Why now? Then why now? All of a sudden, then
it just it popped like, oh well, trauma bonding. Nah, get the fuck out of here. Ain't that much goddamn trauma in the world. Getting caught cheating in your own.
In your
Getting
own
caught
mind.
cheating in your own mind, and there's a whole fourth person eavesdropping is a different level violation. That I love Emma.
But
I
again,
love
that's
that
the messy
bitch.
soap opera drama that we love with
I
X-Men,
do.
with X-Men 97. Like, and then also having Emma be part of that is a nice homage because, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, in the comics, that was supposed to be Emma and Scott having an affair, and Jean caught them. So having Emma catch having Emma catch Madeline and Scott is a nice homage to that moment because it wasn't Madeline in the comic. It wasn't Madeline in the comics. So that was nice. That was cute.
It was cute. He's cute. It's a sloppy. I have a question. Who did the in Jean and Madeline's head? That
So
little
that
spark.
right there. So and that caught me off guard. I got scared at first because first of all, it was like a loud like. Bah! I thought she got shot. I was like, oh shit, are we doing this? She got shot in the head. Like, what's going on? But part of me is like, I don't know if I want to say it because I think the person that did that is the person that honestly, I feel like they should be the main villain this season. But if you guys know the comics, the person that was behind the attack on Genosha, I think that is the one that did like basically like what CJJ said, psychic sniper. That's the one that attacked Jean and Madeline. So I think it was that person. If you know, you know. I don't want to say it just in case because I feel like because for the most part they have been leading into the comics. So I feel like if they're doing Genosha, they're gonna say this person is the one that attacked Genosha. So because of that, I don't want to say who it was in case they do it. But if you want to know, just Google Genosha.
Yeah, I mean honestly, Mutant Massacre. Yeah.
Because for Dwayne, I don't think it was Cable because Jean and Madeline, like they looked hurt. It wasn't like he was reaching out to talk to them or communicate with them. It was like CJJ, it was like a psychic sniper. Like it kind of took them out a little bit and like their nose was bleeding. And yes, Cable is, I feel like the writers sometimes forget that Cable's a telepath too. Because he's been using it more he's been using it more in the new comics, but Cable is damn powerful.
Right.
But a lot of the reason why he's not as powerful or he doesn't present as powerful as like Jean is because of that techno-organic virus that the Sinister put in him. He's using his telepathy and telekinesis to keep it at bay. So it dampens a lot of his powers. Kind of like Wolverine, where his healing factor is way more powerful or more kind of akin to Deadpool's, but he's constantly in a state of healing himself because the adamantium metal is poisoning him. So he's always healing. So even though his healing factor is still stupid powerful, it would be even more powerful had he not had that adamantium skeleton.
Right. It's multitasking 24/7.
24/7, yeah. But I think I think that psychic sniper was that person that was behind the Genosha attack. And so I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna say any more than that.
Okay.
Because it kind of took, I think it affected Emma as well. It affected Emma, Madeline, and Jean. It was going after all the telepaths.
In the comics.
No, in the show. I think it affected, because remember, Madeline got sniped, Jean got sniped, and I think Emma got sniped, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but I think she did too.
I gotta watch it for the fourth fucking time.
I think she did too. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Emma get sniped too with the psychic blast?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think she was fine. She was standing there and she got hit with the blast like everybody else did. The only person that wasn't in that room with the blast was Madeline, I think. She was starting to walk off when she got hit with that psychic. Oh shit. God damn.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I think it was. But in the comic, this person took out the telepaths. But with that said, so we see Jean confronting Cyclops about having that affair with Madeline for a month.
Fucking 30 days? 30 days. So in real time, how long did you wait after she left to stop talking to her?
So yeah, Emma caught it when Mad had her episode. She caught it too.
Okay, I gotta go back and watch it again. I would have thought she got like, I didn't see a head go back or anything. I'll go back.
But like to be fair, like that's his wife. To be perfectly like, that's his wife, just like Jean is his wife. Because remember, they also said we don't know when we were switched. So which one of them married Cyclops? Which one of them was the Phoenix? Which one of them was the Dark Phoenix? Like Madeline, and it's like it's messy, it's complicated. And that's what we love. It's a soap opera. Like, so you can't just turn that off just because the real Jean is back. Like, and we know that Madeline is the one that had his kid. It wasn't the real Jean. So, like, even though Jean has the memory of having that kid, she knows for a fact it wasn't her. And so that also means that Cyclops was nothing in Madeline prior. So, like, that connect, it's not, and it's only been like that. It's only been a month. That love and connection and feelings doesn't go. It's not just gonna go away.
No,
so, like,
no, it's not. But damn, like, why you got me trapped in this house? At least act like I'm her. Like, you could. This is the easiest fake it in all of the universe, my guy. I'm literally the same person. Oh God, I hate it. Oh,
what happened?
No, I'm reading your comments off to the side. What is it? We were playing video games last episode. How did we get here so fast? That's what I'm saying.
But also, to be fair, last episode wasn't just the video game. We also saw Storm crying because she couldn't get her power.
And Ford shooting his shot.
And Storm slapping them.
God damn, she's
which I love. I wish that the Storm episode was. I wish it was longer. That she got more time. Like that Jubilee stuff. It was cute, but the whole episode should have been the Life, Death, Storm stuff.
Yes. Storm, okay, I'm gonna be greedy. Storm needed her own separate arc from this entire show. Like,
now, granted, next week's episode is all gonna be it's all Storm. It's all the Life, Death. But I feel like they both should have been, because Life, Death Part 1, like that comic arc, both, because there's a Part 1 and a Part 2. Both of them are like extended issues in the comic. They're both like 50 some pages. So it should be Life. So all of it should have been Life, Death 1 and Life, Death 2. But I kind of feel like because it's on Disney Plus, they didn't want it to be all the drama and, you know, the back and forth of Storm. They wanted to throw in some type of action. They had to throw in some type of action because, granted, they are trying to appeal to kids to some extent. But I also feel like for the most part, this show, like, ain't too many kids watching this show. Like, this show is for us.
Yes.
This show is for us.
You take your raggedy ass to bed. Ain't nobody looking for you. Go on. Get out the room.
I feel like all Life, Death Part 1 should have been her, and all of Life, Death Part 2 should have been her.
Yeah. And that I think that would have been a better palate cleanser. Like, I feel like this might be the mid-season kind of climax. Even though, goddamn, this shit is fucking rough.
The way this episode ended, this could have been a season finale.
Yes.
Like, bro, where do we go from here? Like, what?
like, give Storm her just due. Give Storm 3 or 4 episodes where it's her getting her powers back. We get more in-depth content from her. We go back to the X-Men house every once in a while, maybe. But then once she gets her powers back, yay! But now we're in Genosha. Fuck. I feel like that would have been. I would have dealt with that a little bit better.
And yeah, Big Kittle. That's an inside joke for anybody that knows from Showrunner, but his name is actually Big Kid Al, but people keep saying Big Kittle. But mostly Showrunner from Pay Your Weight. But yeah, Bo DeMaio said, like, if you guys thought this episode was dark or this episode was crazy, this is just the beginning. So I'm just like,
I don't want anime in my X-Men.
What's going on? This is turning into Attack on Titans. Like, what?
Yes. Like, God, like JJK. I don't know who's getting got next. It's worse. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, Frankie said it too. But yeah, he's saying this is just the beginning. It's gonna get worse. And I know the finale is a 3-parter. It's called what's the last 3 episodes called? It's called, like, hold on, let me
you know better than me. Mister, I want to go with Marvel.
Extermination. And based on that, so, like, also while I look that up, let me go back to one of the another comment that I wanted to bring up. Where's it? Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I hope Storm gets her power next episode. I don't think she is.
No.
I don't think Storm is going to get. Honestly, I don't think Storm is going to get her powers back this season.
Stop it.
I think this season is going to. Yeah, no, I don't think she's going to get her powers back this season because they are sticking to the comics a lot, and after the whole Forge thing, she starts to get not her mojo in terms of her powers, but she gets her confidence back where she still feels like that she can be part of the X-Men without her powers. She feels like she has something to contribute without her powers. And so that's what she challenges Cyclops for leadership of the X-Men without her powers. So if they're going to go that route, she can't get her powers back yet.
And she's still got to kick Scott's ass to be the leader.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So yeah, so if they're gonna go that route of her becoming leader of the X-Men without her powers, like she can't get her powers back yet. So then she has to prove herself as a capable leader without her powers. So if anything, I don't think she's gonna get her powers back until season 2.
And they could still. Oh yeah, the way.
The last three episodes are called "Tolerance is Extinction," Part 1, 2, and 3. The X-Men must unite to face a new threat. The X-Men work to settle the score before it's too late. The X-Men's dreams is put to the test as mutant-human relations reach a tipping point. So I think, even though they said it's going to be Sinister, I think it's going to be another character. I think the Sinister might have been a bait and switch for the whole Madeline Pryor thing, but. Like I say, if you know what happened to Genosha, you know who the villain is. You know who the villain is for that. I think that's the villain for this season. If you guys want to know, Google what happened to Genosha and who is behind Genosha. It's a very important character, one of the X-Men's biggest and greatest villains.
Wait, now I gotta look this shit up. My goddamn self.
Now you gotta look it up now?
Wait, hold on. I've been trying to be relaxed.
If you don't know, don't spoil it.
No. I'm not. No. First of all, I don't do that shit. I don't like that. I don't
mean on the stream. I was saying don't spoil it for yourself. Like, no.
No, I need to know because if it ends up being somebody
I feel like that's kind of random. But I'll still be here for it. I got my I actually got this for my birthday. Because I am a Gargoyles fan. I got a Goliath figure.
Oh, that's nice.
Got it for my birthday.
What is that? The Hot Toy? That's not Hot Toys, is it? No,
it's not Hot Toys. It's NECA. NECA, not NEC.
I didn't think so. I was thinking 2 C's or 2 K's, one of the two. Okay. Responsible for me.
Yes, I hope Nightcrawler joins the team officially. I hope there's a couple. I want to see Iceman because he was in the painting. I want to see a couple people join the team officially. And plus, like, we're getting all these heterosexual couplings. I want to see some queer romance in this show.
I do too.
Let me get more for Iceman, and then Mystique and Destiny.
Disney's been lightly playing footsie underneath the table with potentially introducing alternative lifestyle characters, which is bullshit. Just if you are going to be on this, we're all inclusive kick. I need y'all to put your dick on the table. I need to see it. I need to see what y'all talking about.
But no, I don't think it's going to be Donald Pierce. It's somebody. No. It's somebody else. Somebody else.
I stopped looking. I couldn't. I think I found it, but it doesn't seem right based on what you were saying. So I'm gonna look after the show.
But yeah,
I'm gonna be mad if it is who I think it is. But
and again, like. It's the first. It's the person that was behind. Like, it was Grant Morrison's new X-Men, the E for Extinction event. The first, and that's also why I was like, I feel like this should have been longer because the episode of the destruction of Genosha was 3 issues. And again, we just got and then even with that, we had Genosha plenty of we saw Genosha plenty of times before it was officially destroyed, decimated. Yeah. So I was just like. We just got to see it, and then it was gone. So I was kind of left. I was emotional, but I was still kind of like, damn, like that's it. Like I wish we kind of got more. I wish we kind of got to see Magneto ruling Genosha for a little bit before it was taken away. But one thing that I mentioned that I said I was going to get to earlier. Bo DeMaio released a statement on his Twitter. I'm not going to read the whole thing because we'll be here forever. But he basically said that he wanted to this episode, or the inspiration for this episode was 9/11. He talked about how 9/11 was the time that he was in college. It was also the time that he came out as a black, well, he didn't come out as black. Everybody knew that, but he came out as gay.
A little bit of a tell.
During 9/11. And it was also a time where, for the most part, as Americans, we thought we were safe. Like, we didn't have the TSA when we were going through like planes and everything like that. Like, we didn't really think anybody would attack us. We thought we were the big dogs on the planet. Like, we came off the roaring 90s where it's like most, we had a surplus and everything like that. Everything was like, gun violence was not really a thing that we really had. Like, we had Columbine, but that was like a rarity. Yeah. Everybody was happy-go-lucky in the 90s, and then 9/11 happened, and it's like the world changed after that point. Yeah. And so he said he wanted these first 2 episodes, or these first 4 episodes, to kind of feel like that. With the X-Men, yeah, they had their struggles and they had their adversity, but it wasn't something that they couldn't like overcome and everything like that. But then this is that 9/11 moment where everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Everything changed when Blank attacked Genosha. And he was like, as a gay man that went to school in Florida, he went to the Pulse nightclub before it got shot up and became like the national monument that it is now, where people were attacked. He wanted this to remind people of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Charlottesville, and everything, and things like that, where Black people were decimated and chased off their property and everything. And so he wanted the first couple episodes to be all happy-go-lucky and then hit us. And so going to what I was mentioning earlier about like, dang, like I wish we got to spend more time in Genosha. And then he also mentioned that the reason that he had Gambit in a crop top like he is in my shirt, the reason that he took his shirt off during the basketball game is he wanted people to connect to Gambit. He wanted people to love Gambit. He wanted people to feel like Gambit's story, he had a lot more story to tell, only to take that away from us, because how many people do we know had their stories taken away too quickly or taken away before it really got to begin? Tamir Rice, Tavon Martin, why am I drawing a blank? Tavon Martin.
Yeah.
Sandra Bland, Sean Bell, et cetera, like how many people had their lives taken away just like that? You're at the Pulse nightclub enjoying Trayvon Martin. What did I say? Yeah,
I thought you said Trayvon. Sorry.
Yeah, how many people were at the Pulse nightclub just enjoying themselves, twerking, getting their life, only to instantly have their life taken away? And so that's the kind of thing that he wanted to do with Gambit. So when I said earlier about how I was going to get to this later and saying that I wish we got to spend more time in I keep wanting to say Krakoa, but I wish we got to spend more time in Genosha. How I wish we got to see more of these characters and get to live more in Genosha before it was taken away from us. Sometimes we don't get that time.
You know what? I think
you get what you get. You don't get that extra. Yeah, what you about to say?
No. Finish.
But no, I was gonna say, like, sometimes we don't get that time. Sometimes we don't get to, say, oh, I wish I had more time. Like, or how many times our parents get sick, or, we had that guy, Chance Perdomo, who was in Gen X or Gen V. He was riding, I think he was riding his motorcycle to go to Canada to start filming Gen V, 27 years old, had his whole career ahead of him, gone in a motorcycle accident. Sometimes we don't get that time. Yeah. We don't get that time. And so after reading that statement, it kind of made me go like, even though I still kind of, because at the end of the day, unlike real life, this is still a show that's crafted. If they wanted to have the time, they could have the time. But with that said, it made me appreciate it a little bit more because, sometimes we don't get that time.
And I was going to say, and that should make Krakoa that much more, make you feel that Krakoa is that much more at risk and worth protecting at all costs. All costs. You know what you had a glimpse of what paradise was, what it could have been, what it was getting ready to be, and then gone. So when we do get to Krakoa, you understand the stakes. You understand why certain characters might take a position against the humans even coming on to the island at fucking all. It's as much as I hated how it had to be taken away. If they do this the right way, I will forgive them. I will forgive them for making me halfway cry on the way to work.
Agreed. I still want them to slow it down a little bit, but like,
Yeah.
I feel like I thought that statement was good. And then like Magneto and Rogue were dropping bars in this episode. Like Magneto saying most other nations don't allow a terrorist to be their leader, yet allow so many leaders to be terrorists. I said, this is why Magneto is right. I need to get a shirt that says Magneto is right. Magneto is right. Because like, goddamn, I said, you better speak on like when he was like, don't let me let you down. Like when he was giving that speech to the UN, I was like, Magneto. Or like when Rogue said to Gambit about like why they're not together. When he was like, everything that you touch, you like, I don't know the exact quote, but she said something like, everything you touch, you light up the world or something like that, but never me, because she can't touch him. I was just like, damn.
God damn, that shit was fucking
damn.
Oh, it's the worst. That's the worst breakup I have ever seen in a cartoon.
And then what makes it sadder is like he died not knowing that at Rogue and chose him. She ended up choosing him at the end. When she kissed Magneto, she didn't feel the spark. But yeah, he died not knowing that he was chosen.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn. But yeah, fucking Bo, he cooked. It still makes me wonder, why was he fired?
Yeah.
Or let go. And granted, the rumor is it was his OnlyFans. But then even I found out from other people, they're saying his OnlyFans wasn't even explicit. He wasn't even showing meat. So like,
but wasn't it up before they even hired him?
Yeah, he canceled it before like when he got hired.
So they already knew.
Because I definitely tried to look up that link. I definitely was about to be a subscriber myself. Because have you seen that man? But it was gone. And I asked him because we follow each other and we've talked because I wanted to interview him for New York Comic-Con before he got fired. He was like, I was like, are you gonna be in New York Comic-Con? And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna be there. And I was like, oh, it'd be cool. Like, can I do an interview and everything like that? He was like, oh yeah, no doubt, no problem. I'd love to do that. And then I also asked him about the OnlyFans, like what happened? And he was like, oh yeah, once I got hired, I deleted it.
Yeah.
Because he was like Disney and Marvel, like he was like, honestly, I would, if it was up to me, I would love to do both. But Disney and Marvel, I know they're not about that noise. So I deleted it.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. It's not good for the image there, Sonny.
Yeah, this is the exact quote. You light up everything you touch, but never me. Damn. And that's the last thing he remembered. Last thing he also remembers Rogue and Magneto floating up and making out with each other.
Like he wasn't even in the room. Like just
shocking the world because everybody knows that Rogue can't touch anybody.
Right.
But seeing that Magneto is the only one that she can't. So that also further cements Magneto's position as ruler of Genosha because it's also kind of showing the power of Magneto that he's able to touch the untouchable.
God. I'm so mad.
Only for it to be taken away. And I don't know if you guys noticed right before Cable shows up, it's right before the fireworks go off. We see Uatu the Watcher in the background. You didn't know that? All right, let me see if I can pull up the screenshot. And the Bo DeMaio himself confirmed it on his Twitter. But let me.
Well, then that means that this is an event that's supposed to happen and be.
Here it is. Hold on. Let me.
While you're pulling that up, I also want to point out that there's a hidden message in that music that they were dancing to, like in the opening for Magneto and what is this boy's name? Oh, hold the
So
fuck.
you see this?
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
This is
Somebody
his
just
side.
happened to see that big
This is
headed motherfucker in
yeah,
there.
his
Ain't no way.
side view. It was right before the firework went off and Cable showed up. So it's
That's a
like,
bunch. Oh shit.
yeah, this is like a destined. It was a destined event that Uatu was watching.
That's the faintest. Somebody at the office knew about that and posted that up there. Ain't nobody seen that. Ain't no normie seen that shit. Ain't no way. It's really faint. You can barely see it in the shot.
It is really faint. I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it at all. But then the internet was talking about it, and then Bo DeMaio liked the tweet confirming it. So basically confirming it. And I was just like, oh dang, I didn't even notice that. Like,
No.
when was that? When did that happen?
Okay, so the other thing that I was talking about, the music that's playing while Rogue and Magneto are dancing, it doesn't make any sense. It's a bunch of fucking gibberish sounds. It doesn't sound like any kind of speech pattern, any language that I fucking know at all. And the fact that Cable comes in and keeps saying turn off the music, turn off the music, turn off the music is going to bring him here. Either it's two things. Either it's a different language that we've never heard before, some alien language, or it's something very boring and it's tech sounds. I don't know how to explain it, which activated the Sentinel to show up.
I think it might be the genesis or start of, because remember during like the flashback where Rogue was talking to, I think Gambit she was talking to, when he was talking about when she first met Magneto and what attracted her to Magneto. He was talking about not just mutants having their own space, not just mutants having a place that they can call their own, but having mutant art, mutant language, which also is kind of a tease to Krakoa, where they did create their own mutant language. So it could have been that, the mutant language. But he's saying I'm pretty sure it was a real song.
If you can find me the lyrics to that song, I would be forever grateful, because I have been killing myself trying to figure out what the hell they are actually saying.
Wasn't it Ace of Base?
That's what I thought. And I think it was I Saw the Sign, but I think it's slowed down and played backwards or something like that. But I tried that. I literally got an app to play the goddamn sound backwards. I can't hear shit. So I don't know what the fuck that shit's about, because there's no words. There's the beginning where they talk about dancing, blah 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 blah. But when Magneto kisses Rogue's hand and pulls away, the sound changes. It's not words anymore. You can hear the music portion, but lyrically, those are not words. They're not real words. I don't know. Somebody find out.
But how did you feel about now my background, the Madeline and Cable moment, and her instantly knowing that was her son, and then him calling her, like saying, "I'm sorry, Mom," afterward. I don't have a problem with Madeline figuring out, because moms always know, but I didn't like him calling her, because like, you met Jean before. Granted, that's not technically his mom, but it's still his mom. Like, but they ain't teased that before.
I mean, he could still know who she is. There's still history where he's at. He could always find pictures. I'm sure that they can find pictures of the two different mutants in like mugshots and like, so he can at least say, or whoever raised him, Bishop can say to him, okay, this is your mom because her hair's up. This is not your mom because her hair's down. Something like that.
But he came to warn. He came to stop. And then also like him being introduced in this moment kind of. But then I don't know, because they didn't erase Genosha in the like Genosha still stands. Like the fact that it was 16 million mutants, they're still dead for the most part. Even with Krakoan Resurrection, they're slowly bringing some of them back. Well, now that's kind of off the table now that Krakoa is done. But like for the most part, that's one of the lasting lingering consequences. Like Genosha is still a thing that affects mutants. So I don't know if they're gonna take it back, maybe because it's a Disney Plus show. But then I also don't know if they're gonna do the toll of 16 million mutants like they did on the show, because we didn't really see. Granted, that'd have been too much to draw, but they could at least reference.
I don't know. I don't think they want to give a number. They might be I don't know. That's that section of because the rest of the island was fine. It was just that one like less than a third chunk of the island that got lit up. It wasn't the entire island that got wasted. So
Oh, wait a minute, we got an answer. Happy Nation
Happy
by
Nation.
look, you about to
Going right to it. I need to know. I don't think it was 16 million. If it was, how do you get that many people into that much? And I mean, granted, yes, New York City is New York City, but that's different. That's still only 10 million.
But you could also say that there were other attacks in other places of Genosha. We just didn't see it. They only focused on Magneto, Gambit, and Rogue, because those are the characters that we know, and Nightcrawler, because those are the characters that we know and love. But
okay, I was wrong. It's a whole different language, and I think it's Latin that I was hearing, which is why I'm like, I ain't never heard that shit before. Whoopsie. But at least I know Latin. I just ain't never heard nobody speak it, because who the fuck speaks that shit?
I don't know Latin. But that fight between the Sentinel, Gambit, Rogue, Magneto, Nightcrawler, going to, like, that fight was brutal. That fight was epic. Magneto, you know, like you said, saying not again, never again. And then also speaking to Leech in his native tongue in German. Which I think he said, "Don't be afraid," or something like that. And then Leech saying, like, everything. And then it also kind of makes it sadder because let's keep it a bean, as the kids would say. Ain't no way a Sentinel is taking out Omega level mutant Magneto. He was struggling a little bit, but I forgive it because for the drama. Because in the comic, Magneto wasn't there when Genosha happened, and that's one of that's something that affected him for the longest time, that he wasn't there to help protect Genosha when it was attacked. Yeah. The only one that was really there that we know of, I think, was Emma, and she survived because of her diamond form.
Right.
But what was she really going to do against the Sentinel? But
hide. Clearly hide.
Like, yeah. So, but Leech, his power is to literally leech your mutant power. So I feel like, especially him holding on to Magneto like that, Magneto was at a disadvantage because he was like he was not depowered, but he wasn't as powerful. So that's why I feel like he was kind of struggling a little bit.
He wasn't. The only thing that is throwing me off about the whole thing is the fact that they made the distinction between saying, when Magneto was hit, saying Omega level threat eliminated, and when they hit Gambit, they said neutralized. That's the only difference between the way the two of them were taken out. The fact that they made those distinctions, I think Magneto's heart has stopped. His brain is no longer functioning. He is either he's in a coma or magically bent into another dimension somehow. I forgot what the other Morlock powers are, because you had the rainbow hair chick. There was somebody else that was underneath that thing with him. So maybe, I mean, it's possible that they teleported someplace else.
No, like I don't think Magneto's dead. I don't think he's dead. I think he's out. I don't think he's dead.
Yeah.
Gambit is dead. But yeah, the Omega level threat that they were talking about was Magneto.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and that's one thing I was like, come on now. Like, with as many mutants on that island, like, you got Magneto, an Omega level mutant. They also showed Exodus, another Omega level mutant. There's no way that one
they took out the triple-headed.
So I was like, where's Exodus? Like, he's an Omega level telekinetic. Like, what's going on? Like
lift his ass up.
And you got Madeline Pryor. Granted, she's not Omega like Jean. She's the clone. It doesn't have as much power as the original, but she ain't no slouch.
Bump. Goblin fucking queen. Where the hell was she?
Yeah, where was the Goblin queen? Like,
it don't make sense. Well, she got taken out with the zit, so maybe that's why.
She still got that. She's still strong as hell. But these are nitpicks. But I was still just like, come on, like, because if you're gonna have them there, have it play, because
do something with them.
They weren't there in when Genosha was attacked. They were off because they're the big guns, so they were all fighting other shit when Genosha was attacked. So that's 16 million mutants were the ones that couldn't really They're not strong enough to take out. Like I said, what's Emma Frost gonna do against a Sentinel? But yeah, when he said it in German, never be afraid to get, like, don't be afraid, in his native tongue, I was like, damn. Because this is like reminding him of the Holocaust again. This is like, because this is literally where this is a mutant Holocaust. And to take it a step further, and this was, I was like, damn, with this episode, like how much is hitting, considering what's happening right now in Palestine.
The amount of between X-Men Red and this shit. Who is planning shit? Because, or who's in the future?
Remember this, because this stuff was written and created
months and years.
Yeah,
before,
like he pitched this in 2022.
2020. I think he wrote 2020 in the.
Or no, yeah, 2020. 2020 is when he wrote, because this is animation, so it takes a while to. Yeah, and then Sebastian Shaw, he absorbs all physical damage.
Where these hoes at?
Yeah, well, exactly. Like what's her face said in Infinity War, when Wanda showed up to protect them from the she was like, why wasn't she here the whole time? Like,
yeah, shit. All right, between her and Sebastian Shaw, not her, Emma. I said Emma Stone. Between Emma Frost and Sebastian Shaw, where is everybody? What y'all? I feel like y'all knew.
Emma got psychically sniped,
but they're still together. They're still together. He don't leave her. She don't leave him. They cool with one another, whatever.
So I'm wondering, now that everything's said and done, where is Madeline? Did she make it? Did she survive?
Where the hell at? She's in the recess of Scott's mind.
Nightcrawler's on his deathbed.
No, he was good. He was standing on the little.
No, he was laid out, blood drooling out the mouth. He was unconscious.
No, at the end when Rogue is holding this child, Gambit, he's standing on like a little hill off to the side.
Oh, is he? I didn't notice. I remember him being unconscious, but yeah, like seeing that fight between, like, when Magneto got taken out, and then Gambit, like, basically giving his all, putting all his power to take out that Sentinel, being the one to, take the shot, and then also getting stabbed in the side and bleeding on the side of the thing, almost kind of giving Jesus vibes when the spear of life, and then him using that energy to go full Chaozu against Nappa to basically kind of blow himself up and take out that Sentinel. But unlike Chaozu, it actually worked.
Yes. You don't take yourself out when you're trying to take out the Sentinel. Get off the Sentinel. Oh God.
And then basically saying, like, the name of the episode. My name, something like, my name is Gambit, remember it, or whatever. And then
God. Can I tell you how many hours later I understood the fucking title and it hit me all over again? I'm like, you motherfuckers, why? Why?
I think it's multiple. I think it's multiple things, like them remember it, like Jean trying to remember her, get her memories back. Mm-hmm. Remember it, like she's trying to remember. Gambit saying, "Remember who I am" to the Sentinel, leaving his lasting impact. Scott remembering the baby. And then also Magneto remembering the Holocaust when everything is happening and saying never again, not again. Mm-hmm. And then also to the audience with this episode, us saying, remember it, the mutant massacre, the destruction of Genosha, saying to the audience, remember this episode. And then also to the X-Men at large, us saying, like, remember the mutant massacre, remember it. Kind of like we say with like 9/11 or the Holocaust or everything like that. Never again, or always remember something. You never forget.
Which you just did, but I love you.
Yeah, I did. Well, I forgot the saying, but I didn't forget the actual event.
No, I'm fucking with you. Oh my gosh, yeah.
So I feel like the title was, multifaceted. Again, Bo DeMaio.
Who fucked up? I just need to know who to blame so I can let this go. I'm not gonna fight. Just come outside.
Like, if it turns out, whoa, An hour and 50 minutes into the stream. I'm at almost at 140 people watching. Thank you guys so much across all like it just keeps going up. I feel like I keep feeling like it's gonna go down. I'm like, we've been doing this for 2 hours, but now it's like it keeps going up, and I'm just like, all right, let's
You
go.
know what? Because people decided to watch it at night instead of in the morning, like smart people. So
well, thank you guys so much. While you're watching, whatever platform that you're watching, you could do me a favor, like, share, comment, interact for the all gay rhythm, for helping with getting this video out there, getting the live out there, so more people could see the live, more people could get introduced to my channel and everything like that. But thank you guys so much for rocking with this discussion, because this episode
so much. And I'm sure there's Easter eggs that we haven't figured out yet. Like, it's cute with Uatu and such. There's some shit that ain't nobody seen yet. I feel
I'm pretty
like
sure there are, because like the people that found Uatu all of a sudden, I'm like, what are y'all watching with binoculars? Like, how? Because it was also
frame by frame.
Not only was it faded, where you got to like be staring like this to be able to see it. It was like this.
Gone. That was like literally a frame of Uatu that you had to find.
Yeah, Jason, I just finished watching.
And now you gotta see, and now you want hold on, I'll be right back. Now,
so you got to go back. You're gonna have to go back and watch some of the replay.
Oh, now you need this, right? You just a little bit, just a little sippy sip, just to bring it down.
I'm like, how am I supposed to focus at work after? Like, I gotta go to sleep after this.
Ooh, don't do that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, how am I supposed to? How am I gonna go to sleep?
I'm still tight. I gotta.
And then also, like, when Magneto held Rogue on that thing, because technically, Rogue she's Captain Marvel, because she has Captain Marvel's power. She doesn't have the blasting power, but she has the super strength.
Yeah.
You must have joined, Brian. You must have joined later. I did point out, but yeah, Uatu showed up right before the fireworks went off and Cable showed up. So let me share my screen again. I still have it up. But you see the outline of Uatu right here. So this was right before the fireworks showed up. You see his side profile, and Bo DeMaio confirmed on Twitter that, yeah, this is Uatu watching the events of Genosha, the attack on Genosha unfold. And so it's very faint. It's very faint, but you see his head, you see the cape, the collar of the cape popping up and everything like that. So yeah, that was Uatu.
I'm gonna go back and watch this shit again. I gotta make sure.
I mean, from the 90s cartoon, Carol's still she's still in a coma somewhere. She ain't waking up.
She's gonna get her got back at some point. She gotta wake up.
I mean, maybe, because I mean, we're not really seeing. I don't know if there's going to be that much crossover in this. And also, this actually reminded me of a question that somebody asked me earlier. Do I think, because of the success of this show, do I think other 90s shows are going to get rebooted? Absolutely. They're definitely going to do Spider-Man the animated series.
Easy. That of all.
X-Men and Spider-Man the animated series are the two series that got a lot of us, myself included, into comics in the first place. So the fact that this show is cooking as hard as it is, they're going to do and then with the way Spider-Man the animated series ended with him looking for Mary Jane, there's story to tell. So
oh shit, I gotta go back and watch that.
Yeah, remember
all about that.
Yeah, with him looking for Mary Jane
in the alternate dimension.
That's how it ended.
Yeah.
And yeah, they had that crossover between the two of them. So like,
okay, wait, hear me out.
And this is the first show of Marvel animation, so they definitely could lean into, like, I feel like they could do like a comic accurate version of the Civil War movie. Like, there's so many things that they can do. What were you about to say?
What if? Also, for that show.
There's also rumor of the new season of What If having Storm in it.
Okay, focus. Okay, what if? Because we at the end of the Marvels, we got Homegirl in the Fox universe, right? Yeah. That's one dimension that's open, right? We've got Cable and Bishop and all of them fucking around, going into different times and dimensions and all that kind of things, fucking up timelines. We got Wolverine and Deadpool. We all know that shit's gonna be a shit. We left off with animated Spider-Man going into a different dimension to find this hoe. There are so many ways that this can go right. Marvel, please.
I don't want it to, honestly, because I've been seeing a lot of people saying like, "Oh, X-Men '97 is one of the best things that the MCU has done in a while," and all yada yada yada. It's technically not the MCU, and I don't want this show to connect to the MCU. Granted, it technically is because of the greater multiverse and universe, but let it stay away. I don't want it to. I don't want it to connect. I don't want it to connect to the MCU at all.
Can we just bump chest? I just want just a little bit.
I don't want none of it. I don't even want their toenail to dip in the MCU because it's. Right now, the MCU is kind of, granted, I still am here. I'm going to go to the, hopefully, fingers crossed, I get my invite to the Deadpool and Wolverine red carpet premiere. I'm going to be there, but like,
you ain't have to
humble brag, humble flex. But like, at some point, I'm kind of over the MCU. Not Marvel, not superheroes, but I'm kind of over the MCU. The MCU as it stands now. At this point, I'm just like, just cancel everything and just give us live action X-Men. That and Young Avengers, because I want Wiccan and Hulkling.
I don't think you want what you want.
They're gonna fuck it up. I know they're gonna fuck it up, but I still want Wiccan and Hulkling.
Well, you want look, I want a nice medium rare Wagyu beef ribeye steak. But if I'm only getting oh god, I don't even know who to bring up, and IHOP steak and eggs. Instead, I'm gonna feel a certain fucking way when I got my mouth ready for the best part of what should be the best part of this entire situation. I don't want don't fuck up my shit. Don't, if you can't cook, don't fuck up my plate.
Oh no, I know they're gonna. But that's why I hope hopefully if they do Young Avengers, they do it as a Disney Plus show. Then they don't have to worry about China. And then say, Wiccan and Hulkling, they're just special friends. They're not boyfriends. They're just friends. I feel like if it's a movie, they'll do that.
But they still want to get into China, even on Disney Plus. They still want to be over there.
Disney Plus isn't in China.
But they want to get there.
They want to get there, but it's not.
You want a lot out of this situation.
But, I mean, we got a non-binary morph, so who knows? Maybe, I don't know. But actually, guys, really quick, while I have 140 of you guys watching, I will be going live also next week, same time, 9 p.m. to talk about episode 6, Life Death. But special guest, I will have Morph himself as my I guess co-host. The voice actor that plays Morph will be joining me on the episode to talk about X-Men '97. I can't remember the guy's name. But he follows JP Carliak. We follow each other on
social media.
On Instagram, and he said he'd be down to join me because he said, I watch your videos. I watched the video that you posted today. He was like, I have so much to say. I would love to talk to you on an episode about it. I was like, oh, you want to? I tried to get him on tonight. I was like, oh, well, I'm going live tonight to talk about this episode. You want to join me? He was like, well, it's kind of last. And I was like, granted, I know it's the last minute, but like, you want to join?
But you do know.
He mentioned he was doing like a rewatch for this episode on somebody else's podcast. But he was like, but I'm good for next week. Can I join you next week? I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Like, let's go. So next week, I'm gonna have the voice actor for more. I'm not gonna have him for the whole 2 hours. He mentioned like a half hour. I'm like, I don't care. You can do 15 minutes, whatever you want to give me, I'll take it. So next week, episode 6, gonna be joined by the voice actor that plays Morph himself, and I'm definitely gonna ask him, does he think Wolverine and Morph are doing, getting a little.
I need you.
Freaking in the sheet.
I'm gonna have the screen record ready.
Hey, I'm definitely getting that thumbnail ready. I'm gonna have him send me a haircut. And post about it early, like a week early, so people know.
Blurred's eye view. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's all inclusive technically. So yeah, open the borders. I mean, a little bit. Yeah. Hey, yo, can you see if he's free on Tuesdays and Thursdays for us? Blurred's eye. It's the next day.
Well, see, I can't share. This is the gay show over here. We can't share it. We gotta keep. It's like Krakoa. We gotta keep, or Genosha. We gotta keep it separate.
Rude. Rude.
Y'all stay over there.
I opened up my heart to you and everything. God damn it, Gene. I mean Scott. I mean Gene. I mean Madeline. I mean.
But yeah, no, hit that bell. Hit once I post it. If you got that bell notification button hit, you'll know next Wednesday, 9:00. Because reasons 9:00, because I work until 8, and then I'm not trying to go live right after I get off. I'm trying to like eat, take a shit, like all that stuff. But anyway, Brian Cupid, do I think season 2 will be as good without Bo? Yes and no. And the reason I say that is because Bo's already written season 2, so they're gonna use his stuff. So since he already wrote season 2 for Marvel, technically they own that script. So then it's just up to whoever is show running and directing. But the story is already written. And right before he was fired, he was starting to draft season 3. So.
Oh,
somebody saying he didn't complete. Oh, I thought he finished. I thought he said he wrote all of season 2 and he was starting to write season 3.
Yeah.
I thought that's what I thought. I think that's what I saw him say on Twitter, but I could be wrong. I don't purport to know everything, so I don't mind the chat correcting me. But I thought he said he finished writing all of season 2.
I mean, could they take out some of the stuff that they don't like from his writing?
I mean, of course. I mean, granted, they can't do it now. They can't do it now. The show is done, but they obviously got to animate season 2 and everything like that. So anything that they maybe didn't like, maybe they didn't like the direction of season 2, maybe they didn't like the direction of season 3. Like I said, the rumor is it was his OnlyFans. I don't know. He's not releasing any statement. The first time that he said something was today, but he was just talking about the episode and his inspiration for this episode, but he didn't really say anything about why he left the show. But yeah, I don't know. I guess only time will tell. And who knows, because of everything that's happening, depending on why they got rid of him, depending on, because if he turns out he's a trash person, then yeah, let him stay fired. Because we don't know. It could be like he was abusive or whatever. Like it could very well be that, or it could be his OnlyFans. We don't know. But because if it turns out not to be like he's a trash human being or something like that, because of the fanfare that this show has been getting, they may reverse course and hire him back. If it would be weird. If he even wants to come back.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look, he might after this, he might be like, nah, fuck y'all. I wouldn't blame him if he does.
You would think that Disney would be a lot smarter about their hiring and firing decisions after what happened with James Gunn.
And I was just about to bring that up, like, because they fired James Gunn already to backtrack.
They cannot be that stupid 2 times in a row. They cannot. I mean, I know it's a new regime technically over there, but come on, like somebody had to piss off somebody else about something. Like it can't be nothing.
I'm hoping it's not just the OnlyFans. Let it turn out that he's a terrible human being, and that's the reason that he got fired or whatever. I would. Oh my god, I'd have to reconsider my Disney stock, and they make me money, but they making some dumb choices. Talking about me flexing and going to the red carpet. She got Disney stock.
Yes, I do.
I don't got no Disney stock. She's a partial owner of Disney.
Listen, look, them stimmy checks. If you knew what you was doing with that money, you could have been on my boat.
I was working during COVID, so I wasn't getting stimmy checks.
So was I, boo. I still got a check.
Yeah, I wasn't getting. I was working at a hotel. Hotels, no, it don't matter, COVID or not. They wasn't closing. I wasn't getting nothing.
You got hoed because I know I got a check and I got partial unemployment. Oh, you was in Jersey.
No, but I was working in New York.
But you were living in Jersey?
I was living in Jersey, yeah.
That's why you got hoed, ho.
Jersey is you part of the one. She owns 1% of the company. You are 1%er.
I got a personalized letter from Mr. Iger himself. Please don't fire me.
Man, speaking of being a terrible human being, he's terrible in another way because our emotions, like that final moment. I got to show him again, my baby Gambit.
He
was completely blown up. Like his legs were missing. Like he was gone. At least it looked like his legs were missing. I don't know. That could have been me. But
I
like
thought he was just like burnt on like the side of his head, but I was like, wait a minute,
he was
shave
burned
his
from the
head?
side, and I think his legs were missing. I think
Oh my
that's at least
god.
how I saw it. But then him holding him, like,
Yeah.
and saying like, I can't feel you. Like, I was like, damn. And that reminded me of Wanda when Wanda saw Vision's body, and she said, I can't feel you in the MCU, and I was just like, damn, like he knows. This man knows how to end the episode, like breaking it. And then the fact that it ended on the sad X-Men theme. Damn. See, you ain't had to do it. You ain't had to do that. You ain't had to do that. Gambit Kruger.
That's just trashy.
That's disrespectful. That's right. Disrespectful.
That hurt. Why are you being so hurtful?
Yeah. But yeah, my baby got charcoal. Like, look at them abs. Look at them. Like that whole time when I was like, if Gambit, I was like, if Rogue don't want you, like you can come shuffle my deck, baby.
Can we talk about him being a hoe while in the original season, him coming in all hours of the night? He wasn't that he wasn't that worried about Rogue. Like
no,
he was going
Gambit, I feel like Gambit and Rogue, especially now that they're married, Gambit and Rogue are swingers. Gambit is bisexual. Rogue is bisexual. Gambit, Rogue be diddling herself watching Gambit having sex with another man, and Gambit be diddling himself watching Rogue having, scissoring another woman. Like, that's my headcanon. I don't care. I said what I said. And then also, like, the writers wanted Gambit to be bisexual, but then Marvel was like, nah, we're not going to do that.
The writers for the show or the writers for the comic?
There was a solo Gambit comic, and the writer said he wanted to write Gambit as bisexual. And Marvel was like, nah.
Okay, I do remember that. I do remember them. That was in the 90s?
No, it was the early 2000s.
I'm old, I forget. Okay.
Well, yeah, like not Magneto. Granted, I feel like all the mutants at some level are queer.
I mean,
But yeah, Gambit and Rogue are swingers. Like you can't tell me otherwise. But the fact like holding him, like I can't feel you.
Their safe word has got to be wild.
I mean, they don't have a safe word because she couldn't touch him before.
She could touch him a little bit. She could touch him a little bit for a little while.
Like a second.
Gotta be a weird safe word.
For like a second, he got to wear a full dental dam wrap to be able to touch, like covered from head to toe, ultra thin condom to be able to touch Rogue. Until she eventually learns to control her powers.
Yeah. Poor baby.
Well, yeah. With that said, I don't want it because I could talk forever. I could go on tangents, but I want to get the stream to go too long. But yeah, what are your final thoughts on the episode and the way it ended?
Trauma, devastation, distraught. But I'm because there's more. I'll be back next week. Hopeful that we will get past this.
Yes, and my motto is always make it black or make it gayer. So wouldn't it be cool if Gambit, Magneto, and Rogue all got it on, then branched off into Gambit and Magneto? I'd be here for it. Because again, headcanon, you can't tell me that Charles and Magneto aren't
best friends.
Not now, because he's gone. But they're not. You can't tell me they're not special friends.
There's no way. There's no way. Like that photo with them, they look like an old gay couple. And then the fact that you had Magneto telling Rogue, like, whenever Charles was around, he would put himself into my mind to let me know he was there, that his thoughts were on me, just lingering, not being intrusive, just a lingering presence to let me know he was there to comfort me. I was like, there's no heterosexual explanation for that statement. Ain't no straight man in the world, no two straight friends are going to linger in each other's mind to let them know that they're there to comfort each other. I don't care how much bros you are. It's not happening. And like, so miss me with that bullshit of why can't two men just be friends without it being a gay romance? Sometimes it is just gay. Like, name me one mainstream movie, show, video game, comic, whatever, where they started off as platonic friends
gay friends and it morphed into a queer romance. It virtually doesn't exist. So for the most part, it's always a bromance. So miss me with that bullshit of why can't it just be two friends being friends and being. That's always the case. Show me some. So sometimes it's gay. So let it be gay. It's gay.
If we are that kind of friends, one of us is paying half of the rent.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly. You thinking in my mind like that? Like,
what do you want me to pick up from the store? Boop. Okay. Got it. No, there's no way. There's no way. And then the other part that I find funny is he had to make a whole ass helmet so he wouldn't feel the love coming from Charles. Pardon?
exactly.
Pardon?
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
changed your number so that they would stop calling you because you kept picking up? What?
And on the flip side of that, who is the parallel that we could compare that very same situation to? Jean and Scott, or or Scott and Madeline.
Madeline,
The lingering psychic presence to always let me know that they're dead. They always have that psychic connection and psychic rapport. Jean always knows when Scott's in danger. Like Scott always knows when Jean's in danger because she keeps that psychic connection and lingering presence open. And that's clearly a romance. So why is it when it's two men, it's like, oh, it's not gay, bro. It's a heterosexual thing. No, it's gay.
What is it? Lilandra and Charles.
Exactly.
Come on, stop it. Stop.
It's the same thing. So, but yeah, with that said, like this episode had me devastated. I will say that, like I said, I'm still not fully a fan of the animation. Not the drawing in and of itself, but the movement of the animation. Like it kind of reminds me of Archer. And I'm not a fan of Archer. The Archer
that
style.
Is exactly.
It does give me Archer. It does give me Archer vibes.
Yeah, but I love Archer.
I don't. But with that said, well, I've never watched the show. I'm just talking about the animation in itself.
Oh my god. Okay, number one, please try. Maybe not the first season. Like get into the second and the third season. Even the first season the writing is hilarious. But it is a little bit choppy. So that I'm not. It itches a little bit, but I don't mind it. I don't mind the drawing. I understand what you're saying with the animation. It's not. It doesn't feel smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but it's all right. It's fine. I'm not.
Especially when I think of these fight scenes, like I want to see like Castlevania level, like
okay,
fighting and choreography and like
that already. I didn't like the digital version that they had. What is it, X-Men Evolutions? I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
See, I don't think X-Men Evolution looked like Castlevania.
No. I mean, no, they couldn't. But it was still smoother compared to 97.
It was smoother, but then it was smoother in terms of the frame rate, but the animation wasn't as good as 97.
Yeah. You know what it feels like? It feels like
if you take the 97 drawings and give them the Evolution like frame rate, it'll probably be a little bit more better.
Yeah. It's like sometimes it feels like they have just a regular like a stationary backdrop and they have the animated characters kind of in front of it. That's kind of what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah. But with that said, I still really enjoy this show. Kind of like WandaVision, there hasn't been a Marvel show that made me want to stay up till 3:00 in the morning and watch it at 3:00. Like all the other shows, Moon Knight, I was just like, I'll check it. I'll watch it the next day. Like I'll check it when I check it out. But now X-Men 97, I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday, 3:00. Watch the next episode. And the fact that he's like, this episode is just the beginning. Like I'm just like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen next week? So with that, like I'm here for the show. If you guys joined in late, like my only real criticism is just the pacing. I feel like everything's happening way too quickly. I wish they would like slow down a little bit because they're giving way too much lore in 1.5 hour episode. I do wish that these episodes were an hour long as opposed to a half hour, but I'm still enjoying what I'm getting so far. And so with that, going to talk about next week's episode with Morph himself, JP Karliak. So and then I'll have maybe somebody else on. So it's not just me. So it's not just me and him, especially since he's only going to do like what 15 minutes or half an hour. So I don't.
It's gonna be half an hour. He's gonna stay. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Maybe he'll stay. I was like, hey, if you want to do an hour, we can do an hour. So we'll see. Maybe if I get somebody, maybe we'll get somebody else on. Kira, maybe have you come next.
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not gonna. I'm available. I won't. If somebody else wants,
I'll send you my routing and account number so you can send me some money. Depending on how much you cash at me would depend on how much.
I will send you my love, beloved. It's priceless. I don't know where to send the question.
Yeah, Horatio. Sorry about the. Yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason, I can't see the Instagram. I can go live from Instagram, but for whatever reason, it doesn't show me the Instagram comments. It only shows me the comments from Twitter and YouTube. But for whatever reason, I don't see the Instagram comments. So yeah, sorry about. If you
you physically have to go to the site to Instagram in order to see, which is they need anyway. Yeah.
But thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. But yeah, with that said, Kira, let the people know where they can find you and what you got coming up next.
Sure. Again, Lady Mandalore here. You can find me on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I have my live comic book reading club. We are about to start the run of the last, the last Ronin. Don't know why that blanked out of my mind just now. Last Ronin, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series. We just finished X-Men Red, which was traumatic, especially now that we have Magneto gone for a second goddamn time in as many weeks. You can also find me on Blurred's Eye View Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about everything, movies, music, news, comic artists, indie, blurred comic singers, artists, everything is on that show. Please check us out. Both of those shows you can find on YouTube and Twitch. And oh god, yeah, I do voice acting.
And she owns Disney.
And I own a piece of Disney, bitches. They answer to me. They don't. And yeah, I think that is all. Thank you very much. I was gonna call you Michael, which is the right name, but I want to call you.
That is my name.
Thank you for having me on, Michael. As always, it's a pleasure. I love your witty banter and your professionalism, sir.
Hey, well, thank you, guys. You're on my channel. You're on my pages. You already know where to find me. But with that said, outside of going live next week to talk about episode 6, Life Death, Fallout just came out today on Amazon Prime, 9 p.m. So I do need to watch that. I wasn't special enough like other people that got the screener. I usually get Amazon screeners, but for whatever reason, they didn't send me Fallout. So I'm gonna watch it like everybody else. I'm gonna do reviews on that because I did play the Fallout game. I only played Fallout 3, and I know they're doing a next-gen PlayStation 5 reboot of Fallout 4. So I'm definitely gonna play that when it comes out. I feel like it should have came out with the show if they were smart.
Yeah, that's bad time. Well,
yeah, bad timing, but you know it is what it is. So once they do that, I'm gonna play that, and I'm gonna also review because I've heard good reviews of Fallout, and I was a fan of Fallout 3. I really enjoyed Fallout 3, so be on the lookout for my review for Fallout once I eventually watch it. And then I got to see Monkey Man. I didn't get to a screener for that, so I got to go to this. I got to go to the movies like the normies, like everybody.
It's really good.
That's what I heard. People say because they were like, if you like John Wick, and John Wick is like one of my favorite action franchise. I love John Wick. They say you're gonna love Monkey Man. So I need to watch Monkey Man. I need to do a review for that. And then X-Men 97 episode 6. So join me live for that. Hit the bell notification button. So every time I post a video, every time I post an alert that I'm about to go live, you get that notification. And then swing on by. So with that said, thank you guys. 140 people watching the stream. Thank you so much. And I will see you next week. Ciao. Like, share, comment, interact on my other videos for the All Gay Rhythm.